So John and Toni and Kent here with a little video that we'd like to make, and it's in reference to an article that you have an opportunity to read, but we would like to share a couple thoughts. And it's really based on the idea of how Jesus funded the revolution. He set in motion something that had an incredible impact on the world of his day. Our belief is that by the year 300, that there might have been 400,000 house churches in the Roman Empire. How in the world did that take place? And part of it has to do with releasing people who are trained and gifted as church planters, and we would say also as facilitators. The basic fundamental idea, very simple, was what Jesus articulated in Luke 10, and that is that a person who does the work deserves to be paid. It's true for shepherds, it's true for farmers, it's true for soldiers, and Jesus was teaching that that is also true for people who do the work of nurturing these home-based groups. And one of the unique ways that we think the Lord has given us to do that is by what we call pay it forward. So Toni, talk about what does it mean to pay it forward?
Right, yeah. So in our training, all of our training pathways, which are several, we offer them at no cost to the participant, meaning that it is a gift to them at no cost. And we really do believe that because we trust that God has provided for the facilitator to facilitate that group or that training that they're doing through previous people that have gone through training. And so at the end of someone's training, we do ask them to listen to Jesus about paying it forward so other people can train. And we really mean listen to Jesus. So it's not a ploy that we're saying or some strategic thing that we do to try to manipulate people into giving. You know, it's not a suggested donation, and it's not it's not guilting them into doing that. We really do share the value of those trainings and then ask people to pray and listen to Jesus and do exactly what he says, even if it is don't give, learn to receive. We want them to respect that from Jesus as well. So paying it forward in all of our training pathways so that we can multiply as many facilitators as possible and they can receive something for what they're doing so that they can continue doing it.
Right. And so the first place that we see this working out is as Jesus sends these trained facilitators, church planters out in Luke chapter 10, and the income comes from the house that they go to, the house of peace. That's the principle. But then there's a second expression of this principle, which we see in Luke 8. So Kent, do you want to talk about that or anything that we've said so far? What's going through your mind on all of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a beautiful expression of really the kingdom economy, right? Freely we have received, so freely we give. It's this whole idea that we live in a gift economy where love is expressed to us, shown to us in all kinds of ways, including material and financial. And as a result, we are freed up and empowered to do that for others. And in Jesus' own ministry, like you're suggesting there, John, we see this initiated, right? So Jesus doesn't fund himself. Jesus is supported, as we learn in Luke 8, by a group of women who themselves have been profoundly impacted by the ministry and the life of Jesus. So these formerly demon-possessed women, several of them, are using their own purses to support the apostolic band as they go about their work. And Jesus seems to be just fine. In fact, that seems to be what Jesus expects, is the normal way that life in the kingdom works. We bless with what we have been given, and those who have been blessed in return support us in the work that we've been given to do. So it's just really a continuation of the very thing that Jesus was doing when we get down to Luke 10, and Jesus says, okay, this is how I've been modeling this for you. Now you go do this and expect that you will be supported in that work.
So Toni, apply that to Luke 10. We're starting to think about strategic partners.
Yeah.
Who are those people, and what are we hoping, asking that these people would do in the context of Luke 10?
Yeah. So in Luke 10, because we want to free all of the pay it forward finances to go to facilitators so that can multiply endlessly around the world, we in the administrative branch of Luke 10, so to speak. It's a very lean organization. There's only a few of us that actually run this. But we are seeking strategic partners, investors, and connectors who would be willing to fund the administrative ongoing costs of our organization so that all of the pay it forward monies can go to our facilitators. And these strategic partners that we're praying for specifically, praying tend to be that God would thrust them out into the harvest. For us, are people who have been apostolic investors in the past in the church, possibly for church buildings or expensive programs that they funded, but now they're done and they're realizing, you know, the way to reach the next generation and the way to have sustainable transformation and viral multiplication is actually not through that paradigm. It's a different paradigm. And so we're praying that God will bring those people across our pathway, so that that they can fund this type of being church in the world and reproducing that.
I've had a passion for that for quite a while. I just feel like there are people out there who've been committed to church for years and years and years. They've been through building campaigns and giving campaigns, and they've been generous. Some of them, you know, very wealthy people. Some of them just, you know, average people. But that they're done with that, as Toni said, and they're ready to invest significantly in this particular part of the kingdom. So that's what we are asking you guys to join us in praying about, asking God to bring us, the Lord of the harvest, to bring us people like that. So let's check back with Kent and Toni. Any sort of closing final comments in this little video? Kent?
I just think it's so beautiful and amazing that this principle that Jesus lived out so long ago has been viral to the point that it has. Here we are 2,000 years later, and the gospel is touching the whole world. And the principle that Jesus laid out, as we apply it faithfully and effectively and consistently, I think is going to be the key to getting the job done, getting that vibrant family in close reach of everyone. So we are excited about this opportunity for Luke 10 partners and others that have worked with us along the way to step into this special strategic partnership role.
Amen. Toni, final comment?
That's it. Can't set it
Okay.
all. Thanks. Yeah.
Good. Thanks, you guys.